My 13-year-old son grabbed my arm in our garage at 11:20 p.m. and whispered, "Don't go home, Dad. I heard Mom doing something bad." My name is Adrian Graham. I'm 58. I'm a mechanic. And 3 months ago I inherited $5.2 million when my parents died. Ethan was shaking, terrified. But here's the thing, I already knew what my wife was doing. I'd known for 10 days. She was in our dining room with her 3 adult kids, practicing my signature, planning to forge wire transfer forms, trying to steal every dollar. I told Ethan, "It's okay, bud. I'm going home." "But Dad, I'm going home, just not alone." If you're watching this, please subscribe and let me know where you're watching from. This is the story of how my wife and her children tried to steal $5.2 million from a man they thought was too stupid to notice, and how I made sure they'd spend the next 15 years regretting it. Let me back up. I wake up at 5:30 every morning. Same chipped coffee mug, gift from my first wife Diane back in 1995. Same 2011 Ford F-150 with 240,000 miles on it. Same drive to Henderson Auto Repair at 42404 East Van Buren Street in Phoenix. I work in Bay Number 3. Been my spot for 22 years. I'm an ASE Master Technician, all 8 categories. Only about 2% of mechanics have that certification. My customers request me by name. They tip in cash. On September 28th, 2 weeks after my inheritance cleared probate, my wife Rebecca called a family dinner. Her 3 kids from her first marriage were there. Kyle, 30, Brittany, 27, Tyler, 25. They've never really accepted me. I understood that. I came into their lives when Rebecca and I met at church in 2008. We married in 2010. Our son Ethan was born in 2011. Kyle looked at me across Rebecca's kitchen table. "So, Adrian, now that you're a millionaire, you're gonna finally trade in that embarrassing truck?" I was wearing my work clothes. Dickies pants from Walmart, $12. White Hanes undershirt from a 6-pack that cost $15. My Red Wing boots are 10 years old. I've had them resold 3 times. "Truck runs fine," I said. "Just hit 240,000 miles. Brittany laughed. "Oh my God, that's so you. Sitting on millions but won't spend $300 on decent jeans." Tyler chimed in. "Mom, maybe Adrian should let you manage the money. You know, someone who actually understands investment portfolios." Rebecca touched my shoulder, condescending. "Honey, they have a point. This is complex stuff. Mutual funds, IRAs, estate planning. It's not like changing oil." I went back to eating. "I'll think about it." Nobody noticed I wasn't hurt. I was calculating. A week later, October 1st, I found a Nordstrom receipt in the kitchen trash. $834. Bottega Veneta purse, designer sunglasses. Rebecca hasn't worked since 2019. I pay all our bills from my salary, $62,000 a year. The inheritance was supposed to be untouched, in probate accounts. I photographed that receipt with my phone. I said nothing. On October 5th, I overheard Rebecca on the phone. She was in the bedroom. Door open. She thought I was in the garage. "Denise, I know, $5.2 million, and he wants to keep working at that grimy shop." Pause. "No, he doesn't get it. He's smart with cars, but financially? Please, the man thought a Roth IRA was a type of sandwich." Pause. "I'm handling it. Kyle's helping. We're going to set up proper trusts, LLCs, the works." Pause. "No, Adrian won't be involved. He'll sign whatever I put in front of him. He always does." I stood in the hallway, frozen. I didn't confront her. I went to the garage, opened my safe, pulled out a folder marked Financial Documents, TON 94, 2024. Inside were 30 years of notebooks, every single one numbered. I was on notebook number 47. I've been reading the Wall Street Journal every single day since 1994, 30 years. My coworker Eddie, Vietnam vet, smartest guy I ever knew, told me when I was 28, "Adrian, you want to retire at 60? Read this every day for 30 years. You'll learn more than any business school." Eddie died in 2003. I never stopped reading. My subscription costs $38.99 a month. Over 30 years, that's $14,000. I've invested in financial literacy. I track compound interest, tax strategies, inheritance law, fraud cases, forensic accounting. Rebecca walked into the kitchen the next morning, saw me reading. Still reading your little business paper? Understanding any of it? I didn't look up. Some. Today's article on Ponzi scheme prosecutions is interesting. Guy in Florida got 15 years for wire fraud. His wife got 8 as an accomplice. She laughed, nervous. Why are you reading about fraud? It's in the business section. Why should I be worried? She walked away quickly. I smiled slightly. First seed planted. Here's what was at stake. My parents' estate totaled $5.2 million. Breakdown, $2.8 million in Vanguard index funds. My father invested his union pension money from 1985 to 2024. $1.6 million in real estate, rental properties in Tucson, a fourplex on Elm Street, a duplex on Grant Road, $520,000 in savings accounts split between Bank of America and Wells Fargo, and $280,000 in vehicles, personal property, and life insurance payouts. After estate taxes, $485 million net came to me. It cleared probate on September 15th, 2024. Went into my account at Frost Valley Bank, account number ending in 8834. My plan was simple. Keep working, live on my salary, let the inheritance grow. Give it to Ethan when he needs it. College, wedding, down payment on a house. But if Rebecca successfully moved money before I could stop her, the clawback process would take 18 to 36 months. Legal fees would run over $200,000. And if she got money offshore, into Cayman Islands accounts like I'd later discover she was researching, recovery success rate drops to 40%. That's what I stood to lose financially. But there was more. If I confronted her without evidence, she'd gaslight me. I'd look paranoid, maybe lose custody of Ethan in a divorce. If she moved money offshore successfully, I might never see it again. And if I stayed silent, my son would watch his father get robbed. He'd learn that keeping quiet enables abuse. Plus, there was my self-respect. I spent 6 years driving my mother to chemotherapy, 3 times a week, 2018 to 2024. I held my father's hand the day before he died. He looked at me and said, "Son, take care of the family money. Don't waste it like your cousin Danny did. If I let them steal it, I'd be spitting on their graves." On October 8th, I pulled out my prenuptial agreement. We signed it on February 14th, 2010. Valentine's Day, 11 pages. I reread every clause. Clause 7. Any inheritance received by either party from their respective families shall remain separate property, not subject to community property division. Clause 12. In the event of divorce, Party B, Rebecca, waives all claims to Party A's, Adrian's, premarital assets, inheritance, and pension. Rebecca signed it, but she never read it carefully. She was so eager for security after her abusive first marriage. Her attorney was a friend's cousin who did it as a favor, never explained the details. But I read every word, spent 4 hours with a dictionary. She thinks she's entitled to half because we're married. Arizona's a community property state. But inheritance with a prenup? That's my separate property. She gets nothing. And somewhere in her scheming brain, she either doesn't know that, or she's planning to make the money disappear before divorce papers get filed. I needed to know which. More importantly, I needed to protect Ethan. The week before my parents died, my father left a letter with his estate attorney. Sealed. Instructions: open only if Adrian needs help. I didn't know about that letter yet, but I was about to find out that my father knew exactly what kind of person Rebecca was, and he'd prepared to protect me from beyond the grave. October 4th, 2024, 10:45 p.m. Ethan woke up thirsty, went downstairs for water, heard voices in the dining room. That was unusual. School night, late. He peeked around the corner. Mom, Kyle, Brittany, at the table under a lamp. Papers spread everywhere. Kyle held an old insurance card of mine from 2019, my signature on it. Brittany had a notebook. She was copying my signature over and over and over. Rebecca was watching, coaching. "No, the G in Graham loops higher, see? Try again." Tyler was on a laptop, looking at a bank website. Ethan's stomach dropped. His hands started shaking. He grabbed his iPad from the living room couch, muted it, low brightness, came back, took 6 photos from around the corner. Then he started a voice memo recording. He captured 4 minutes and 18 seconds before Rebecca stood up. He ran back upstairs. Later in bed, he listened to the recording. He was crying. This is what he heard. Kyle, we need at least $1.8 million out immediately. That's enough to cover our debts, plus Mom's new place. Brittany, what if he checks his account? Rebecca, he won't. He thinks I handle the finances. Plus, he's too stupid to even know how to check on online banking. Kyle, even if he did notice, we'd be in Grand Cayman by then. No extradition. Ethan waited 8 days to tell me. He was scared, processing, trying to understand. On October 12th at 11:20 p.m., he was waiting in the garage when I got home from a late shift. That's when he whispered, "Don't go home, Dad. I heard Mom doing something bad." The next morning, October 9th, one day after Ethan warned me, I called my parents' estate attorney, Daniel Morrison, 7:15 a.m. "Daniel, I need help. I think my wife is planning to steal from me. Adrian, your father warned me this might happen." Daniel connected me with a private investigator, Marcus Donovan. He arrived at my shop at 2 p.m. Marcus brought a hidden camera. Vanxay 1080p mini camera. Looks like a USB thumb drive. $89 on Amazon. Motion activated. 128 gigabyte SD card. Can record up to 64 hours. We installed it in my home office, hidden behind a book on the shelf. A Chilton's Auto Repair Manual from 1990 to 1995. A book I actually use. They'd never touch it. The camera captured the desk, the chair, the filing cabinet, the door. Marcus said, "This is legal in Arizona. Single-party consent state. It's your home, your office. If they commit a crime in there, it's admissible." How long before we have something? If they're serious, soon. Criminals get comfortable. They got comfortable fast. October 10th, 8:30 p.m. I was working a late shift. Rebecca, Kyle, and Brittany went into my office. Rebecca pulled wire transfer forms from my filing cabinet. Frost Valley Bank forms. Form number WT7823. Domestic wire transfer request. It requires an account number, an amount, a recipient routing number, and a signature. Kyle said, "Okay, Britt, you're up. Your handwriting's closest." Brittany practiced my signature on blank printer paper, HP paper, white, standard, 47 attempts over 22 minutes. The camera captured every single one. Her handwriting started shaky. By attempt number 38, it was nearly identical to my blocky print. Rebecca, "Perfect. That one's perfect. Do it 5 more times." Kyle, "We need 3 signatures total, 1 for each transfer." Brittany, 3? I thought we were doing 1 big one." Kyle, "Banks flag single large transfers. We'll do 3 over 2 days. $1.5 million, $1.7 million, $1.5 million. Looks more natural." Rebecca, "Where's Tyler? He's supposed to set up the LLC." Kyle, "He's researching, setting up a shell company in Delaware to receive the first transfer." On October 12th, 7:15 p.m., all 4 were present. Rebecca, Kyle, Brittany, Tyler. Tyler's laptop was open. Google searches visible. How to form LLC in Delaware. Best banks for anonymous accounts. Brittany brought her practice sheets. Perfected now. Rebecca brought wine. Celebrating early. Rebecca, "Once the money's out, I'm filing for divorce, claiming irreconcilable differences. By the time it's finalized, the money's clean." Kyle, "What about Ethan?" Rebecca paused. "I get custody. Adrian won't fight. He never fights. Kid comes with me." Brittany, "What if Adrian does fight?" Rebecca, "With what money? His mechanic salary? I'll have the inheritance. I'll bury him in legal fees." Tyler shifted uncomfortably. "This feels... I don't know, guys. Isn't this, like, fraud?" Kyle, "It's not fraud if he never earned it. His parents earned it. They're dead. Mom's been married to him 14 years. She deserves this." Brittany, "Tyler, grow up. Adrian's not going to miss $5 million. He doesn't even understand what that means. To him, money's just numbers." Rebecca, "Exactly. He'll keep going to his little garage, fixing cars, happy as a clam. We're doing him a favor, removing the stress of managing wealth. October 14th, 9 p.m. Rebecca alone in my office, on the phone with someone. Male voice. Rebecca. Lance, I'm telling you, by November we're free. The condo in Scottsdale, the one on Camelback, put a hold on it. I'll have cash. Pause. Yes, cash. $5.2 million cash. Pause. He doesn't know anything. He's too busy rotating tires to notice I'm rotating his bank accounts. Pause. I love you too. See you Thursday. She had a boyfriend. She wasn't just stealing, she was leaving. October 15th, 12:30 a.m. Marcus delivered the SD card to my garage. I watched the footage on my laptop, alone, at my workbench. 19 hours and 42 minutes of total footage. Marcus had condensed it down to 47 minutes of highlights. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just watched. Then I took notes in my spiral notebook. Timestamps, direct quotes, names. I've pulled bullets out of engine blocks. I've rebuilt transmissions from scrap. I can fix almost anything. But you can't fix people who've already decided you're not worth their honesty. You can only document them. Step back and let consequences do the work. The next morning, October 16th, I sat at the kitchen table at 5:45 a.m., reading the Wall Street Journal. Physical paper. Delivered daily. I was reading an article about wire fraud prosecution trends, federal interest rate decisions, estate tax planning. Rebecca came downstairs, saw the newspaper. Still reading your little business paper? Understanding any of it? I didn't look up. Some. Today's article on Ponzi scheme prosecutions is interesting. Guy in Florida got 15 years for wire fraud. His wife got 8 as an accomplice. She laughed nervously. Why are you reading about fraud? It's in the business section. Why, should I be worried? She left the kitchen quickly. I smiled. Second seed planted. October 17th. Lunch break. I was at Henderson Auto Repair. I pulled out old transcripts from the filing cabinet in my shop office. Pima Community College, 1996 to 2004. Night classes while I worked full-time. Accounting I and I2, B+ and A, Business Law, A-, Finance Fundamentals, A, Tax Preparation Basics, A, Contract Law, B, 42 total credits. I never told Rebecca. She assumed I just worked. After my first wife Diane died in 1998, I couldn't sleep. I worked till midnight, then drove to Pima Community College for 7 p.m. classes. Professors didn't care that I smelled like motor oil. I learned that numbers don't lie. People do. I texted Daniel Morrison. Need referral for forensic accountant, someone who testifies in court. I know just the person. Robert Campbell. He's expensive but worth it. Price isn't an issue. October 18th, 6 p.m. Daniel's office, downtown Phoenix. Daniel's 62, silver hair, sharp suit. Adrian, your father warned me your wife might be problematic. He never trusted her. He pulled out a sealed envelope. Your father left this with me. Instructions, open only if Adrian needs help. The letter was handwritten, dated June 2024, 1 week before the accident. Son, if you're reading this, something happened to me and your mother. The money's yours, all yours. Rebecca doesn't get a dime. The prenup makes sure of that. But I've seen how she looks at our rental properties, how she asks pointed questions about our portfolio. Watch her. Protect yourself. And protect that boy, Ethan. He's the only real thing in your life right now. Love, Dad, I cried. Silent tears. Folded the letter carefully. Daniel said, your father gave me a $50,000 retainer to protect you if you ever needed it. He knew. October 19th, noon. Lunch meeting with Robert Campbell, forensic accountant. Small Vietnamese restaurant. Robert's 56. Quiet, methodical. The PI sent me your footage. I've traced login attempts on your Frost Valley account. He showed me his laptop. 17 failed login attempts from Rebecca's IP address. October 5th through 14th. She tried password variations. Adrian 1966. Graham 2011, Ethan Graham, Ford 150. Locked out after attempt 17. Then she called the bank, impersonating me. They recorded the call. Robert, this is wire fraud conspiracy. Federal. If she succeeds in transferring even $1, it's 20 years mandatory minimum. What do you need from me? Nothing, just don't tip her off. Let her keep going. The more evidence, the stronger the case. October 20th, 7 o'clock p.m. My garage. Marcus delivered a second SD card, plus photo evidence. Rebecca apartment hunting with a man, Lance Brennan, 52 years old, divorced realtor, DUI in 2019. October 18th, 2 o'clock p.m. Scottsdale condo tour for $200 a month rent. They held hands, kissed in the parking lot. Marcus, want me to keep following? No, I have enough. Time to bring in the FBI. FBI, you sure? Wire fraud over $1 million is federal. I want federal consequences. October 21st. Breakfast. Rebecca was cheerful. Fake cheerful. Honey, I've arranged a family meeting tomorrow night. 6 p.m., just us, the kids, and a few people to help with financial planning. What kind of financial planning? Estate stuff. Trusts, beneficiaries, legal protection. You know, boring paperwork. I've had an attorney draw everything up. You just need to sign a few forms. Which attorney? A friend of Kyle's, very reputable, works in estate law. What's his name? She got irritated. Does it matter? Adrian, this is for your protection. Our protection. Ethan's future. I'll be there. She looked relieved. Great. Wear something nice. Not your work clothes. I texted Daniel Morrison. It's happening. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. They're bringing fake documents. Don't sign anything. I'll have my team on standby. October 22nd, 5:45 p.m. My dining room was transformed. Rebecca had set everything up. White tablecloth, fancy. Unusual for us. Leather folder with documents. Expensive pens, Mont Blanc. She'd bought them special. Coffee service. She was creating a professional atmosphere. People started arriving. Kyle, wearing a blazer, trying to look authoritative. Brittany, the forged practice sheets hidden in her purse, just in case. Tyler, uncomfortable, avoiding eye contact. Tyler's girlfriend, Jasmine, 24, nurse, confused why she was there. Rebecca's sister, Linda, 51, real estate agent. She thought this was legitimate. And the attorney, Marcus Vance, 38, actually Kyle's friend from his marketing job, not a lawyer, wearing a cheap suit from Men's Warehouse. Ethan wasn't there. Rebecca had sent him to a friend's house. Adult business, she'd said. I arrived at 6:05, straight from work, still in my Dickies and work boots. Rebecca forced a smile. Adrian, you're late, and I asked you to dress appropriately. Sorry, transmission job took longer than expected. Should I change? No, we're already behind. Just sit. Everyone sat down. They put me at the head of the table. Intentional. They wanted me to feel in charge. Marcus Vance started his pitch. Mr. Graham, congratulations on your inheritance. $5.2 million is substantial. Without proper estate planning, you could lose 40% to taxes, lawsuits, creditors. He opened the leather folder, pulled out documents. I've prepared a comprehensive asset protection strategy. 3 key components. First, irrevocable trust. Protects assets from creditors, Rebecca as primary trustee. Second, LLC formation. Holds real estate, all 3 children as managing members. Third, liquid asset distribution. Moves cash to high-yield offshore accounts for tax efficiency. I read the documents slowly. These require wire transfers? Yes, immediate transfers to secure the LLC accounts. How much are we transferring? Kyle got impatient. Adrian, Marcus explained this. It's technical. Just trust the process. I'd like to read every page first. Rebecca forced a laugh. Honey, we've been over this with the attorney. It's standard. Everyone does this. I kept reading. Rebecca, you're listed as sole trustee. That means you control everything? It's for protection. If something happens to you, I can manage it for Ethan. But I'm healthy, Kyle snapped. Adrian, Jesus Christ, just sign. We've been here 20 minutes. Brittany caught herself. Seriously, Dad. She stopped. Adrian, this is painful. Do you not trust us? Rebecca addressed the room, playing to an audience. This is what I deal with. He's suspicious of everything. Adrian, these people took time out of their evening to help you. Marcus, Mr. Graham, if you don't execute these documents tonight, you're exposing yourself to significant risk. Kyle again. Mom, maybe he's not capable of understanding. Should we revisit the competency evaluation option? I set my pen down, looked up slowly. Competency evaluation? Kyle backtracked. I just mean this is complex financial stuff. You think I'm incompetent? Rebecca. No one said that. Kyle just did. The room got tense. Everyone shifted uncomfortably. I stayed calm, measured. I have some questions for Marcus. Of course. What law school did you attend? Pause. Arizona State. What year did you graduate? 2012. What's your bar number? Longer pause. I don't have it memorized. I pulled out my phone, typed. Marcus Vance. That's your full legal name? Yes. Because the Arizona State Bar website shows no attorney named Marcus Vance licensed in Arizona. Silence. Rebecca. Adrian, what are you... Kyle, is Marcus actually your friend from Elevate Marketing Group? Kyle turned red. What? No. Marcus, do you work at 2121 East Camelback Road, Suite 200? Because that's Elevate's office address. Marcus stood up. I think there's been a misunderstanding. Sit down, Marcus. We're not done. The power in the room shifted completely. I looked at Rebecca. These aren't estate planning documents. They're wire transfer forms. Frost Valley Bank, Form WT7823. I recognize them because I filed one in 2019 to pay for Dad's cancer treatment. Rebecca went pale. Adrian, you're confused. Rebecca, the routing number on line 14, that's for a bank in the Cayman Islands. Kyle, how the hell do you know that? Because I looked it up. Same way I looked up Delaware LLC formation costs, which matches the $850 Tyler paid on October 13th using our joint credit card. Everyone froze. I stood up. Here's what's going to happen. Marcus, you're going to leave. Linda, Jasmine, I apologize you were brought into this. You can leave too. Linda looked at her sister. Rebecca, what's going on? Rebecca, nothing. Adrian's paranoid. Linda, your sister tried to forge my signature to steal $5 million. If you stay, you're a witness to conspiracy. I suggest you go. Linda and Jasmine left immediately. Now it was just me, Rebecca, Kyle, Brittany, Tyler, and fake attorney Marcus. Marcus, leave. Now. He did, without a word. 4 people remaining, the guilty ones. I looked at them. Before we continue, I'd like to introduce some people. Rebecca. What people? The doorbell rang. I answered the door, came back with 4 people. Daniel Morrison, 62, gray suit, leather briefcase. I'm Daniel Morrison, estate attorney. I represented Adrian's parents for 30 years. Robert Campbell, 56, glasses, laptop bag. Robert Campbell, forensic accountant. Special Agent Christina Taylor, 41, FBI windbreaker, badge visible on her belt. Special Agent Taylor, FBI White Collar Crime Division. Marcus Donovan, 38, carrying an evidence box. Marcus Donovan, private investigator. Rebecca stood up. Adrian, what is this? This is me, not being alone. Kyle looked at the FBI agent. Wait, FBI, this is insane. We didn't do anything illegal. Agent Taylor. Mr. Caldwell, I'd suggest you stop talking. Brittany started crying. Mom, what's happening? Tyler. Please, can we just talk about this privately? No, you wanted a family meeting with witnesses. Here are mine. They sat back down, surrounded. Marcus, the PI, set up his laptop on the dining table, connected it to my TV, the 55-inch Samsung in the living room. You could see it from the dining room. October 10th through 19th, hidden camera, legally installed in Adrian's home office. He played a highlight reel, 7 minutes. First clip, October 10th, 8:30 p.m., on screen, Brittany practicing my signature. Rebecca's voice. Perfect. That one's perfect. Kyle. We need 3 signatures total, 1 for each transfer. Brittany gasped, covered her mouth. Kyle. That's not what it looks like. Agent Taylor. Mr. Caldwell, seriously, stop talking. Second clip, October 12th, 7:15 p.m. Rebecca. Once the money's out, I'm filing for divorce. By the time it's finalized, the money's clean. Kyle. What about Ethan? Rebecca. I get custody. Adrian won't fight. He never fights. Brittany. Adrian's not going to miss $5 million. He doesn't even understand what that means. Rebecca screamed, "Turn it off! Turn it off!" No, keep playing. Third clip, October 14th, 9 o'clock p.m. Rebecca on phone. Lance, I'm telling you, by November, we're free. 5.2 million cash. He's too stupid to notice I'm rotating his bank accounts. Tyler looked confused. Mom, who's Lance? Rebecca was shaking, silent. Kyle glared at me. You recorded us? That's illegal. Daniel stepped forward. Arizona's a single-party consent state. Adrian owns the home. The recording is completely legal and admissible in court. Robert Campbell opened his laptop, projected images to the TV, screenshots, bank records. Mrs. Graham, you attempted to access your husband's Frost Valley bank account 17 times between October 5th and 14th. Login attempt logs appeared on screen. Timestamps, failed password attempts. October 11th, you called the bank impersonating Mr. Graham. They recorded the call. He played 30 seconds of audio. Rebecca's voice slightly deepened. Hi, this is Adrian Graham, account 8834. I need to reset my password. Bank rep. Mr. Graham, for security, what's your social security number? Rebecca rattled off my SSN. Bank rep. And mother's maiden name? Rebecca. Patterson. That's identity theft. Federal crime. Rebecca. I'm his wife. I'm allowed to access accounts. Daniel. Not without his permission and not to commit fraud. Robert continued. Your laptop, Mrs. Graham. HP Pavilion, serial number TG94832K. These are searches from your device. The screen filled with Google search history. October 8th. How to forge signature without getting caught. October 9th. Statute of limitations. Bank fraud, Arizona. October 10th. Offshore accounts. Cayman Islands. October 13th. Countries with no extradition treaty. October 15th. Can husband prosecute wife for theft? Rebecca was hyperventilating. I was just researching for a novel. I'm writing a novel. Rebecca, you haven't read a book in 8 years. Robert showed text messages next. Family phone plan, account holder Adrian Graham. Under federal law, he has legal access to text records. Group text thread appeared. Operation Graham. Created October 7th. Kyle to group. Britt's getting good at the signature. Maybe 3 more days practice. Brittany. What if he notices the wire transfers? Rebecca. He won't, and if he does, we'll be gone. Tyler. I still think this is wrong. Kyle. Tyler, shut up or you're out. Rebecca. Tyler, we're family. Family sticks together. Adrian's not family. He's a mark. Tyler started crying. I told you guys this was a bad idea. Kyle turned on him. You fucking traitor. Agent Taylor. Mr. Caldwell threatening a witness. Keep going. More evidence appeared on screen. Practice signature sheets. Photographed. Wire transfer forms. Found in Rebecca's car. Photographed October 17th. Apartment tour confirmation email. Scottsdale condo. Photos of Rebecca with Lance Brennan. 10 photos. Various dates. Holding hands. Kissing. Agent Taylor spoke. Here's where we are legally. Mrs. Graham, you're looking at wire fraud conspiracy under 18 U.S.C. Section 1343. Identity theft under 18 U.S.C. Section 1028. Bank fraud under 18 U.S.C. Section 1344. Forgery with intent to defraud. Mr. Kyle Caldwell, Ms. Brittany Caldwell, same charges plus conspiracy. Mr. Tyler Caldwell, you're in the text thread, but your hesitancy is noted. Prosecutor may offer a cooperation deal. These are federal crimes. Wire fraud over $1 million carries mandatory minimum sentencing. She laid out the guidelines. Mrs. Graham, 15 to 20 years federal prison. Kyle, 12 to 18 years. Brittany, 12 to 18 years. Tyler, 5 to 10 years. Possibly probation if you cooperate. Kyle exploded. This is bullshit. We're her kids. She raised us. That money should be hers. Agent Taylor. Mr. Caldwell, your mother's marital status doesn't entitle her to commit felonies. Rebecca looked at me. How can you do this to me? To us? I'm your wife. I stood up, walked to her, calm, measured, eye level. Rebecca, I gave you 14 years. I raised your kids like they were mine. I paid for Tyler's dorm before he dropped out. I paid Brittany's credit card debt twice. I helped Kyle with his failed business. I worked 50-hour weeks so you could quit your job and find yourself. I held my tongue when you called me stupid. When your kids mocked my work. When you forgot our anniversary 3 years in a row. I stayed quiet because I thought love meant keeping the peace. But you didn't just disrespect me. You tried to steal from me. From my parents' memory. From Ethan's future. You forged my signature. You planned to flee the country. You called me too stupid to notice. I leaned down. I noticed everything, Rebecca. I've been noticing for months. I just waited until you committed enough crimes to ensure you'd face consequences. You're not my wife anymore. You're a felon. I stood, addressed everyone. Agent Taylor, I'm pressing charges. Full prosecution, no plea deals. Rebecca collapsed, sobbing. Kyle, you cold-blooded bastard. No, I'm a mechanic who learned how to protect himself. Agent Taylor made calls. 2 more FBI agents arrived within 20 minutes. Rebecca, Kyle, and Brittany were arrested in my dining room, handcuffed. Miranda rights read. Taken to FBI Phoenix field office at 201 East Indianola Avenue. Tyler wasn't arrested, yet, told to remain available. I watched from the doorway, arms crossed, silent. Rebecca being led out. Adrian, please, think of Ethan. He needs his mother. Ethan needs a parent who doesn't commit felonies. Kyle, spitting venom. You'll regret this, old man. No, Kyle, I won't. My neighbor, Mrs. Patterson, was in her yard, 72 years old, watching. Adrian, what's happening? Taking out the trash, Mrs. Patterson. I picked up Ethan from his friend's house at 9:30 p.m. We drove in silence for 3 minutes. Dad, where's Mom? She's not coming home tonight, bud. Because of what I told you? The forgery? I pulled over, parked, turned to face him. Ethan, you did the right thing, the bravest thing. You protected me. You protected our family. Your mom made choices, bad choices, illegal choices. She has to face consequences. None of this is your fault. Not one bit. Are they going to jail? Probably for a while. What about us? You and me? We're going to be fine. Better than fine. We hugged in the truck for 5 minutes, both crying. This is what protection looks like. Not revenge, not anger, just refusing to let people hurt the ones you love. October 23rd, Federal Court, Phoenix, bail hearing. Rebecca, bail set at $500,000. She couldn't afford it. Remained in custody. Kyle, bail set at $250,000. Couldn't afford it. Remained in custody. Brittany, bail set at $250,000. Couldn't afford it. Remained in custody. Tyler, released on his own recognizance. Cooperating with FBI. Charges filed. 3 counts wire fraud. 2 counts identity theft. 1 count conspiracy to commit bank fraud. 1 count forgery. October 25th, Tyler met with the FBI. Brought additional evidence. Screenshots of deleted texts he'd saved. Voice memos he'd secretly recorded. He was scared, covering himself. He admitted, I tried to talk them out of it. They said I was weak. FBI offered a deal, testify against mom and siblings, reduce charges. Tyler accepted, pleaded guilty to conspiracy, misdemeanor, 2 years probation, no jail time. Kyle and Brittany refused to speak to him after that. October 28th, Daniel Morrison filed for divorce on my behalf. Grounds, fraud, adultery, irreconcilable differences. I sought full custody of Ethan, all separate property. 0 spousal support. Rebecca filed a counterclaim from jail, said I coerced her, wanted half of everything. The judge reviewed the evidence, footage, texts, FBI report. November 5th, temporary orders. I got full temporary custody of Ethan. Rebecca, no contact with Ethan until criminal trial concludes. I kept all inheritance. Prenup enforced. November 12th, federal plea negotiations. Rebecca refused a plea deal, wanted trial. thought she could win. Kyle refused. Arrogant. Thought a jury would sympathize. Brittany accepted. Pleaded guilty. Cooperated. 8 years federal prison. The prosecutor's statement: the evidence is overwhelming. We have 19 hours of video, text messages, Google searches, forensic analysis. If you go to trial, you will lose, and sentencing will be harsher. November 15th. Child custody evaluation. Court-appointed psychologist interviewed Ethan. Private. Recorded. Ethan's statement: I love my mom, but she did something really bad. My dad protected me. I want to stay with my dad. Psychologist's recommendation: full custody to father. Mother's influence currently detrimental. November 18th. Judge's ruling: I was granted full legal and physical custody. Rebecca gets supervised visitation only after serving her sentence. January 2025. Sentencing. January 14th. Rebecca Graham. She'd accepted a plea deal at the last minute. December 20th, 2024. Pleaded guilty to wire fraud conspiracy, identity theft, forgery. Sentencing: 12 years federal prison, $250,000 fine. Restitution to me: $47,000. Location: FCI Victorville, California. Medium security women's facility. Parole eligibility: 10 years. Her statement to the judge: I was desperate. My kids needed help. Adrian was hoarding money he didn't earn. Judge's response: Mrs. Graham, your husband's parents earned that money. You tried to steal it. Desperation doesn't justify felonies. 12 years. I was in the courtroom. Ethan beside me. He was 14 now. Rebecca looked at us, mouthed, I'm sorry. I didn't respond. Stone-faced. January 16th. Kyle Caldwell. Went to trial. Refused plea deal. Jury deliberation, 4 hours. Guilty verdict. Sentencing, 15 years federal prison. $180,000 fine. Location: FCI Phoenix. Medium security. Parole eligibility: 12 years. His statement: that money should have been my mother's. Adrian manipulated her. Judge: Mr. Caldwell, you organized a criminal conspiracy. You coached your sister on forgery. You researched offshore accounts and no extradition countries. You are the ringleader. 15 years. Kyle had an outburst. This is bullshit. He's a fucking mechanic. Judge: bailiff, remove him. January 18th. Brittany Caldwell. 8 years federal prison. She'd cooperated. Location: FCI Dublin, California. Low security women's facility. Parole eligibility: 6 years. $52,000 fine. Her statement: I'm sorry. I was wrong. I let my family down. Judge: Ms. Caldwell, your cooperation is noted, but you physically forged signatures. You practiced for hours. You knew it was illegal. 8 years. Tyler got 2 years supervised probation. 200 hours community service. Financial crimes rehabilitation program. He got a job as an IT support technician. Cut contact with Kyle. Started writing me letters. Apologizing. The consequences rippled outward. Rebecca's sister Linda posted on Facebook on October 25th. I'm horrified by what my sister did. Adrian is a good man who was betrayed by people he trusted. I support him and Ethan 100%. The post went viral locally. 20,400 shares. Rebecca's friends split. Half thought she must have had reasons. Enablers. The other half called her a criminal. Cut all contact. Kyle's employer, Elevate Marketing, fired him on October 24th. Company statement: we don't employ individuals facing federal charges. Brittany's freelance design clients all canceled contracts. She lost $30,000 a year in income. In my neighborhood, people who'd gossiped about Adrian the Grease Monkey were suddenly ashamed. Mrs. Patterson brought me casseroles for 3 weeks straight. Adrian, I'm sorry I ever doubted you. At Ethan's school, kids ask questions. One classmate: is it true your mom's in jail? Ethan: my mom made bad choices. My dad's a hero. At Henderson Auto Repair, business actually increased. The local news coverage gave us free publicity. My boss gave me a raise, $62,000 to $72,000 a year. Adrian, you're the most loyal guy I know. You stood up for yourself. That takes guts. Financially, I came out ahead. Inheritance, $5.2 million intact. Fully mine now. Legal fees, $83,000. Attorney, forensic accountant, private investigator. Court-ordered restitution from Rebecca, $47,000. Though she'll be paying it from prison wages at 12 cents an hour. It'll take decades. My decisions kept $3 million in Vanguard index funds for Ethan's future, college, wedding, down payment on a house, $1.2 million into high-yield savings, emergency fund, $800,000, bought a rental property in Tucson, generates $4,500 a month in income, $200,000 donated to a domestic violence shelter, in memory of my first wife, Diane. My lifestyle? Unchanged. Still drive the 2011 F-150. Still work at Henderson Auto Repair. Still wear Dickies work pants. Still read the Wall Street Journal every morning. Money doesn't change who you are. It just reveals it. Ethan struggled at first. Therapy, twice a week. Dr. Lauren Mitchell, child psychologist. His biggest struggles, guilt for turning in his mom. Anger at why she did it. Fear that he might become like them. Dr. Mitchell told him, Ethan, you did the right thing. Protecting your dad from criminals, even if one is your mom, is love. We bonded in new ways. Saturday mornings, I teach him car maintenance. October 28th, oil change on the F-150. November 11th, tire rotation. December 2nd, brake pad replacement. He asked me one day, Dad, why do you still work? You're a millionaire. Because I like it. Because work gives me purpose. And because I want you to learn something. Money is a tool, not an identity. His grades improved. Honor roll to high honor roll. He became more confident, set boundaries with friends. January 2025, he wrote an essay for English class. My dad, the mechanic who taught me strength. An excerpt. My dad isn't loud. He doesn't brag. But when it mattered, he stood up for us. He taught me that being quiet doesn't mean being weak. It means choosing your battles carefully. His teacher gave him an A+. Tyler sent me a letter in December 2024. Adrian, I'm sorry. I should have stopped them. I should have warned you sooner. I was a coward. You gave my family everything and we tried to destroy you. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want you to know you're twice the man Kyle will ever be. I didn't respond immediately. In January 2025, I texted him, get your life together, stay away from your brother. Maybe in a few years we can talk. Tyler, thank you. Rebecca sent letters from prison, 3 of them. First letter, anger. You destroyed my family. Second letter, bargaining. Please drop charges. I'll pay you back. Third letter, acceptance. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please take care of Ethan. I didn't respond to any of them. Ethan asked if he could write to her. I said yes. She's still your mom. You get to decide what relationship you want. He wrote her once. Short letter. Mom, I love you, but what you did was wrong. I hope you get better. Love, Ethan. She wrote back, crying, apologizing, promising to do better. Whether she means it, I don't know. The social consequences were real. Rebecca's name appears in public court records. Anyone can Google her. Rebecca Graham, fraud, Arizona, brings up news articles. Mugshot, sentencing details, she'll carry that forever. Kyle, too. When he gets out in 15 years, he'll be 45 years old. Felon, no professional career. Brittany, getting out in 8 years at 35, has a chance to rebuild. Tyler, with just probation, got the best outcome. But he lost his family. His mother hates him for cooperating. Kyle won't speak to him. The price of doing the right thing. People ask me if I regret it. Turning in my wife, sending her to prison, destroying her kids' lives. I don't. Because they weren't destroyed by me. They were destroyed by their own choices. I just refused to be their victim. And that's the difference. In April 2025, 6 months after everything, Ethan and I were in the backyard, throwing a baseball. Dad, do you think Mom will ever apologize? Like, really apologize? I caught the ball, held it. Maybe, in 10 years, when she's eligible for parole, or maybe not. Do you care? No, bud, I don't. I've got everything I need right here. I threw the ball back. Now show me that curve ball. He smiled, and we played until the sun went down. April 2025, Saturday morning, 7 a.m., I'm at my kitchen table, reading the Wall Street Journal. Same routine. 31 years now. Ethan's making pancakes. He learned from YouTube. It's become our weekend thing. Dad, I got accepted to the robotics summer camp at ASU. That's great, bud. How much? $2,400? Done. I'll write the check. Thanks. And Dad? Yeah? I'm proud of you for standing up to them, for protecting us. I set the newspaper down. I'm proud of you too for telling me the truth. That took guts. We eat pancakes in comfortable silence. People ask me if I regret it. Turning in my wife, sending her to prison, destroying her kids' lives. I don't, because they weren't destroyed by me. They were destroyed by their own choices. I just refused to be their victim. Later that afternoon, I'm in the garage, at my workbench, rebuilding a carburetor. 1967 Mustang, customer's project. I think about everything that's happened. For 58 years, I thought being a good man meant being quiet, meant absorbing disrespect, meant keeping the peace at any cost. I let Rebecca mock my work. I let her kids treat me like furniture. I let them believe I was too stupid to notice. I told myself, love is patient. Love is kind. And I believe that. But here's what I learned. Love without boundaries isn't love. It's enabling. When someone steals from you, when they forge your name, plan to flee the country, call you too stupid to notice, that's not family. That's a con. And the kindest thing you can do for yourself, for your real family, for the meme, is let consequences teach the lesson you couldn't. I didn't send Rebecca to prison. She sent herself. I just refused to be her victim. The old Adrian would have signed those papers, would have believed her lies, would have lost $5.2 million and spent the rest of his life wondering how it happened. The new Adrian, he documents everything. He trusts, but verifies. He loves his son fiercely and protects him without apology. I'm still a mechanic. I still drive a beat-up truck. I still wear $12 work pants. But now, I'm a mechanic who knows his worth. And that's the difference. If you're listening to this, maybe you're in a situation like I was. Maybe someone's taking advantage of your kindness, your silence, your fear of conflict. Here's my advice. Document everything. Read every contract. Know your rights. Trust your gut. And when the time comes, when they cross the line from disrespect to crime, don't hesitate. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Consequences aren't cruelty. They're accountability. You deserve better than being someone's mark. That evening, Ethan and I are in the backyard, throwing a baseball. Dad, do you think Mom will ever apologize? Like, really apologize? I catch the ball, hold it. Maybe in 10 years when she's eligible for parole, or maybe not. Do you care? No, bud, I don't. I've got everything I need right here. I throw the ball back. Now show me that curve ball. He winds up, throws, the ball breaks left. Perfect spin. That's it. That's the one. He grins. We play until the sun sets over Phoenix. The sky turns orange and purple. The temperature drops from 95 to 85. Later, inside, Ethan's doing homework at the kitchen table. I'm reading the journal. He looks up. Dad? Yeah? I'm glad you're my dad. I smile. I'm glad you're my son. My name is Adrian Graham. I'm 58 years old. I'm a mechanic, and I'm nobody's fool. Thanks for listening. If this story resonated with you, let me know in the comments. And remember, quiet doesn't mean weak. It means you're choosing your moment. And when that moment comes, you'll be ready.